there's been some long, long years as a part of that, and obviously the COVID years, and so many great grad classes and alumni now that we're all just really proud of what this group did this year, and like I said, it is a hard to believe moment.
Welcome to episode 226 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland. For the first time in the program's history, the University of Calgary Dinos are Canadian College Baseball Conference champions. After posting wins against Thompson Rivers University and Prairie Baseball Academy in the round robin, they edged Victoria 7-6 to get themselves into the CCBC final. And given that it's a double elimination format, the Golden Tide bounced back with an 11-10 win over PBA to get themselves into the final and a rematch. And what a finale it was in Lethbridge. The Dinos went up 7-1 after 4 innings, but Victoria wouldn't go away, scoring 3 in the 6th and 2 in the 8th to draw within 1. The Dinos scored 1 in their half of the 8th, and the Golden Tide scored another in the 9th, but it wasn't enough as the Dinos won 8-7. Zach Delacki led the way, going 2 for 4 with 3 RBI, including a triple in the 8th that drove in the eventual winning run, while Callie Einerson also posted 2 hits and an RBI. Starter Jaden Wielders picked up the win, going 5+ innings, while Alex Lanigan became a major storyline in the championship with a 2-inning save in what became his 3rd appearance. We'll hear from Delacki, fellow 5th-year Marcus Coder, and 4th-year Dino Cale Uzdebski on this episode, but we'll start things off with head coach Cam Williams, who was a longtime Dinos player before taking the reins of the club, and in his second full season as coach, guided them to the championship. Cam, welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, thanks, Joe. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure.
How was the ice bath?
Cold, but no, it was fun, man. It's one of those things. Like, I know people like to joke about it, but I would take it every day if it means that we're winning championships and winning rings, right?
Mm-hmm. So you've had a couple of moments to kind of soak things in. Think about this for a second. Cam Williams, 2023 CCBC champion. How does that sound now?
There's no better thing that I've ever heard. That's for sure. Like I said, it was a wild weekend, wild 4 days, and these last 24 hours, or last 12 hours almost have been, it's been crazy. I've had so many people reach out, so many alumni reach out, and I'm so appreciative of that, and just so proud of how far this program's come, and it's been a long 9 years, involved in this program, and like I said, I just can be more proud of everyone involved.
When it comes to this team, when did you realize that there was something special about them, or particularly special about the run that you were going to be going on over the last few days here?
I mean, obviously going into the weekend, everyone, is riled up, and the one beauty thing about this tournament is, anyone can win it, right? Mm-hmm. We had an up and down year. We finished 500, right? So. We played a couple stretches of good baseball, a couple stretches of less good baseball, and I would say I believe in the talent that we have. I think our top 25 guys is better than anybody's. We just need to put it together for a full 9 innings, and we struggled to do that in the regular season. But it was a bit of a younger squad, and and with a good senior core that I can't thank them enough. But I would say after the PBA win in Game 2 of the playoffs there, it started to kind of sink in that we have a legit chance here.
Was there a particular, I'll call it TSN turning point for you during the last few days here where you went, okay, we're going to have a good run to, okay, maybe we've got a shot at this?
Yeah, I was kind of telling you off air there, but so in Game 3 against Victoria in the 6th inning, I believe, we gave up a go-ahead grand slam. Took a 3-1 lead, turned into a 5-3 deficit, right? So, I've been on a lot of teams. I've coached a lot of teams that right then and there would have sank the dugout, and and it came after a tough, 2-strike pitch that got called the ball, and next pitch, grand slam. So, but to our guys' credit, they came in and said, hey, there's a lot of baseball left. They chipped away to get 1 back the next inning, and then tied it a couple innings later and took the lead in the 8th, right? So. Like I said, I've been a part of a lot of teams that giving up a go-ahead grand slam in the 6th would have sunk them then and there, right? So that was kind of the point where it's like, okay, this team, there's no quitting in them, and we have a chance to win this whole thing.
So as a coach, you get through Victoria and you end up having to face them again in the final. How did you try to prepare your troops for that final game?
We just kind of told them that they would be pissed off, right? And, they got the momentum back after winning a nail biter against PBA on the Sunday night. So that's they've faced elimination before heading into our game, which can make them dangerous, right? So, if they did win that first game, then obviously that's momentum's even more in their favor, right? So we just kind of said that they were going to be pissed off, and the other thing that helps is they're the team that eliminated us last year. And so that that taste is still in all of our returners' mouths, and that's one thing we said before the first time we played them. But it's the same as the second time, right? Like they ended our season last year, and it's I have a ton of respect for them, and they fought so hard in their second year program, being in the conference finals, awesome too. But at the same time, when a team eliminates you, there's nothing more that you want than to eliminate them, right?
Mm-hmm. Now you guys get out to that early lead against Victoria in the final. It's 7-1 after 4. How tough is it to get the guys to maybe bring it down a notch and stay focused instead of dreaming of what's going to happen after the bottom of the ninth?
It's tough, and I'm guilty of that a little bit too, right? Standing at third base, looking at the scoreboard, looking in the crowd, and everyone's really fired up, and you're only a few, 4 or 5 innings away, but like they got 3 runs on about 4 pitches, and and all of a sudden it was a 7-4 game, and obviously we had to kind of lock it back in and refocus, or else, like you said, they crazy things can happen, right? Especially in this league. We put up a 7 spot and a 9 spot in the tournament. So we also said, hey, they could do that to us at any given point, right? Mm-hmm. So, and no lead is safe in the CCBC, I'll tell you that.
Well, and especially though, you do have one guy who had proven to be quite the shutdown master heading into the last couple of innings there. Alex Lanigan comes in the 8th. What was it like having him on the bump for the weekend?
I can't talk enough about how awesome Lanigan was for us. Not just on the field. He's an off-field leader, and there's nobody else I would want on the mound to get the final outs of the season. Honestly, it didn't even matter what the score was. He was throwing the last outs of our season, and no ifs, ands, or buts. And that's just how much he means to this team and this program. And one of my assistants said after that. When that bullpen door opened, he came out and did his little, walk and jog, and the confidence that he portrayed. My assistant goes, "We're winning a freaking championship today." So, I can't say enough good things about Alex, and he's worked his butt off, and it's all very well deserved.
Mm-hmm. Take us back to that final out. What goes through your mind, especially when that final strike is thrown?
So they actually had 2 strike hits before it. So, it was kind of like this lead up, and, there's, like I said, 2 outs, 2 strikes. We're like 1 pitch away, single. Let's do the same. The next guy, single, right? So, and then all of a sudden they had a tying run on second and go ahead run at first, and he got up 0-2, 1-2, I think, and and it's like, hey, please, just for the love of God, and he says last pitch, it's called strike 3, and. Everyone knew right away, came bouncing out of the dugout, and, except play for the dog pile, right?
Mm-hmm. What's it like from your perspective being able to watch some of those videos now? Because you got to live it in a first-person view, but being able to watch it in third-person views got to be a whole different experience.
It is actually, yeah. Lots of, friends and family and girlfriends were in attendance, so there's tons of different angles, tons of videos, and, Lethbridge, they had 2 really, really good photographers, Cindy Adachi, of course, and Blair Tagahashi, and they did an awesome job kind of recapping the whole weekend, and especially yesterday. So, they did an awesome job, and it's just, it's so cool to see some of these photos, and obviously I've saved as many videos as possible, and, it's something that I'm sure we'll, put together some sort of montage for next year, and blah, 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 right? But, it's really cool, and I'll be watching them for a long time. I'll tell you that.
You and I talked off air about this a little bit, and that's the game plan. When you took the job, you certainly probably had a bit of an idea as to the timing of when you wanted to be a competitive team or be a championship caliber team. Did you exceed your expectations a little bit by winning it in year 2?
Yeah, I mean, like last year, obviously we had a really good year. Especially first year back with COVID, my first full season, normal season on the job, and I obviously like some hype started to build, and we're like, okay, we are close. And this year, I think we were a pretty young team, but I mean, and I was excited for the future. But yeah, like you said, I mean, obviously you're always, confident in your group, and you always want to win a championship. But yeah, like you said, I think we were, I think we were a year or two away from being a legit contender, but now that we've done it a year or two earlier than expected, it's kind of potential, go on a run here. And like I said, I think we're just going to continue getting better here as well, right?
I was just gonna say, I was gonna ask about that side of it. Does it set the bar really high for the next couple of years for you? Do you now that you've got a target firmly on your back with all the other teams, have you started to kind of game plan as far as, okay, we've got to be that much better knowing that we're now on everybody's radar?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. You said that target on your back, and I mean, I actually said this to some of our guys yesterday. Everyone shows up to play OC and PBA these last couple of years because they've obviously won a lot of championships over these schools. Obviously, PBA had the 7P, and then OC's won 3 of the last 4. So whenever you play them, whether it be a fall game or a preseason spring trip, everyone gets up to play those, right? They know that they're a good team. They know they have to show up, or the game's not going to go well. So we're going to get everybody's best, at the end of the day. So, we obviously have to be at our best, or, this feeling won't last as long, right? But, it does set a standard, though, right? And that, everything that we do, is to go, we before me, and everything we do goes towards to win a championship, and that's just the new standard for us, right?
Mm-hmm. The new standard, and it's a standard that's been set after, as you mentioned earlier, nearly a decade with this program. How crazy is it that you've been able to see this team go as far as it has come in such a short amount of time with you at the helm?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I got pretty emotional about it yesterday. Like you said, I've been involved with this program for almost a decade, and there's been some long years as a part of that, and obviously the COVID years, and and so many great grad classes and alumni now that are we're all just really proud of what this group did this year, and like I said, it is a hard to believe moment, and like I said, I don't think anyone expected it, maybe other than us, and it's like I said, it's absolutely unbelievable, and we can't be more proud.
How cool is it as well? This is the first one in program history as well. So you get your name beside that as a piece of the legacy of Dinos baseball.
Yeah, I love it, honestly. This program is obviously has been and is a huge part of my life. And I have so much, faith in what this program can provide, our student athletes, and obviously at the end of the day is, the teammates and the camaraderie, and obviously your academics and your being a student athlete life. But ultimately everyone still wants to win a ring, right? Mm-hmm. And we can finally say that, and I'm sure we'll hang that banner up somewhere that everyone can see it.
Looking forward to it. Final question for you here, Cam. What does it mean to you to be a Dino and to have won it all with this squad?
It means everything. It really does. There's like I said, some long dark years for a while there, but there's always sunnier days, and yesterday and today are definitely 2 of them, and it's only on the upward swing. I think our program's going in a great direction, and we're not done yet.
Fantastic stuff. Well, Cam, congratulations, 2023 CCBC champion. Thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Joe. It's always a pleasure, and I'm sure we'll talk to you soon.
Next up is 5th-year Zach Delacki. The Winnipeg product hit a triple in the 8th that drove in what became the game-winning run. He hit .286 with 5 RBI in the Dinos' 4 games after hitting .269 during the season with 5 doubles, 3 triples, and 13 RBI in 22 games. Zach, thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast.
Awesome. It's great to be here.
Zach Delacki, 2023 CCBC champion. How does that sound?
Sounds pretty damn good.
Talk us through what goes through your mind, especially as you're able to kind of soak things in after a few hours after what's been probably a pretty crazy last 4 or 5 days here.
Oh yeah, it's been a crazy couple of days in the playoff weekend. We went 4-0, didn't even lose a game, but it felt quite different. Even some of the games we had, we were up by 5 runs, and it felt like it was a 1-run ball game just because of everything that you go through, all the nights and all the the team process and everything. It's just really takes on you, but it's so worth it in the end. And I'm so glad I got to do it with this group of guys. It's been an incredible weekend. My last one. Crazy to do it on my last weekend here, and I'm just so thankful for the opportunity. Pressure's a privilege, and we took advantage of it.
Talk a little bit about the expectations of this team going into the weekend, because I talked to Marcus and I talked to Coach Williams and others who said, like, as much as you want to talk a big game and you obviously go in with the expectation that you're going to win it, you also had a bit of an up and down kind of season. So how did you personally go about trying to prepare for what was going to be ultimately your final season and final wrap-up championship weekend with the Dinos?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I came to the weekend just keeping an open mind because my first year with Marcus actually were the last ones on the 2019 baseball squad. We won a total of 8 games in our season and 1 in the playoffs. And I just knew, like, especially with the league that we had right now, that any team can beat any team. And so I kind of went into it with, we could beat any single team that we set against. And we definitely did that. And we took advantage of every opportunity that we could and seized the moments and everything. I really was just trying to enjoy every single little bit of it too, because I knew it was my last one, and it really meant the world that we could get it done. And yeah, it was really amazing.
Talk a little bit about the moment where you realized that something special is going to happen. Was it the first win? Was it PBA? Like, what was it? Or was there, I'll call it the TSN turning point for you?
I think it was the win against PBA. It really fired me up, and it fired the team up to say, like, holy crap, we can really, really do this, and we got a shot at it. And after that point, it was cruising from there, and we really learned how to play as a team together. And as soon as I realized that after the win against PBA, I was like, wow, this could happen. This is a reality, and sure enough, it happened. So yeah.
How challenging was this tourney? You mentioned the emotional swings, but it seemed like a pretty regular occurrence where you're putting up 5 spots, or you're having 6 spots against you. Like, every inning seemed to be just a different story all on its own. So how is it trying to manage it from a player perspective?
Oh, well, yeah, honestly, it's a little easier than you think just because of the team that you're in. And all the boys help with that, to be able to add the pressure, and everyone contributed towards our goal of winning, and that's how those 5 spots happen. It's just because guys come up in clutch moments, and you just each contribute a little bit to the pie, and that's kind of how we got it done. And I don't know, it puts pressure on you as a player to be in those positions, but you just know you have the next guy at your back ready to swing the bat and ready to pick you up if you end up not being able to get it done. So
talk us through that last game, specifically after you guys go up 7-1. Was it hard to keep your eyes on the prize, or did you find yourself scoreboard watching a little bit, just going, all we need to do is get through the next 4 or 5 innings and we got this thing in the bag? Did you feel complacent at all, or did the team really kind of fortify around itself, even in the face of adversity a little bit during the course of those last few innings?
Yeah, well, I have to watch because we watched all the games as a team, and you just knew that no team was ever out of the fight, because, like, there's been way bigger upsets than a 6-run ball game, and I knew it was 7-1. I'm like, wow, we're in a great spot right now, but we can't let up, because you can really come back from any lead, and it was only the 4th inning, I believe, at that time, and I just knew we got to keep pushing. We just got to keep playing our game, and sure enough, they did score a couple of runs and kind of make a charge for it coming back there. And they're a great ball club over there. And yeah, I don't know. You're never out of the fight, and you really just got to keep pushing. That's what I was thinking in that 7-1 lead there. Yeah.
So you go into the top of the 8th and you see Alex take the mound. What goes through your mind, especially the way that he pitched all tournament? Oh,
I was thinking he's made for this. This is our guy. This is the only guy we would want in this spot right now. And we didn't have anyone in the bullpen. We didn't have anyone, warming up. It was him, and that was our guy who was going to get it done for us. And I think everyone on that team knew that that we were going to get it done, even though they did end up scoring a run in the 9th inning. And thankfully I had that hit in the previous inning to get us going a bit. But as soon as he took the mound, we all knew that he was our guy and he was going to get it done for us. So
I was going to ask about that very play. You get the triple to put you guys up by 2. How much of a sigh of relief, I guess you could say, to get just that little bit of breathing room, especially heading into the 9th?
Oh, wow, yeah. As soon as it happened, I was like, wow. And I didn't really realize how important it was until we got into that 9th inning, because with 2 runs compared to 1 run, it's a massive, massive difference. And we really learned that in the last inning there. But, yeah, it made that moment so much more sweet at the end there, just to be able to contribute that big to the team and to put us into that winning spot there.
So take us back to last pitch that Alex throws, the last strike, the final out. What goes through your mind?
Well, it was pretty crazy, because we had in that inning before, it was kind of a teaser moment, because we got up 2 strikes and 2 outs on this one hitter, and it was kind of the same moment, and then he got a hit, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, dial it back in here. But yeah, that last pitch that he threw, oh my gosh, it was amazing. I just turned around, looked at my team, and we all just went nuts and celebrated as hard as we could. And it's just a great feeling that you can't ever take back and you can't ever take for granted, because I'll never forget that feeling. It's such a great feeling. Yeah.
Well, and especially from your perspective, having seen the trials and tribulations, you mentioned that 2019 team with Marcus, and this team has come through a lot of adversity, and you were part of it to get to that point. What's it meant to you to finally see all that work and all that pain and heartache turn around to what has become the last 24 hours or so, where you're celebrating a championship?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it really puts everything together, especially because of the 5 years that I've been on the team for, and all the work that we put into it. And I'm just so happy that we were able to come together and play as a team. And that means so much more to me, that we did it all together. And with that group of guys, man, it's really just such an awesome experience to be a part of that and be part of that team, because it means so much to those senior guys. You really don't know it until you've been through it all, and it really just means the world to you at the end of the day. Yeah.
How cool is it to think that you were able to end your collegiate career with a championship?
Oh, it's crazy, because that's the first one in Dinos history. I believe it was 2016 where they made it to the finals before, but then ended up losing to PBA. And just to be able to bring that first one back and to the program is quite a special moment for all the seniors to do it in our last year. And I know there's great things to come with this team, with this program.
Mm-hmm. Final question for you. What's next for you?
For me, I'm just going to be staying in Calgary. Found a great home here. Been building an amazing network full of great people and all this baseball squad, but also just outside of baseball. I've been building friends and building a community. I've been working with Taylor Altilio in the Alpha Project, so I'm working with the Stampeders and the Dinos football team as a strength and conditioning coach, using my degree of it.
Very cool.
And so really just the best that I can and just living it up one day at a time.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, Zach, on the CCBC championship, on all the success you've had at this point. Continued success wherever it may take you. And thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Now we head over to Marcus Coderre, who joined us on episode 224 to talk about his baseball journey. The fifth-year infielder from Calgary scored 2 runs in the championship game, hitting .263 for the tournament with a pair of RBI. Marcus, thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on again.
Now, let's start off here. Marcus Coderre, 2023 CCBC champion. How does that sound?
It sounds pretty great to me. It still sounds surreal just to hear it. I still doesn't feel real right now, but I'm sure that'll kick in this any minute here.
When we last talked, I know it was the goal, and everybody's got that goal and aspiration, but can you pinpoint the point during this tournament where you thought maybe this is real?
I think for us, the first point where everybody really started to believe was in our first game. We were playing TRU, and we were down 4-1 in either the 5th or 6th inning, and we exploded offensively for 9 runs that inning. And I think that was the point where we realized that we had kind of finally found our identity as a team, and we really were taking a next man up approach, and everybody was playing for the next guy.
What is that identity? You're looking back on it. What was that identity that you found?
I think it was just becoming more of a scrappy team and just not trying to do too much at the plate and kind of just trying to find a way on base to get the next guy up and keep the line moving.
You guys didn't just beat PBA, but you beat them pretty handily. I know that you'd had the back and forths during the course of the season. Did that sort of cement your spot as far as, okay, we got a shot at this?
Yeah, definitely. Especially playing PBA, they're such a good team, one of the top teams, and it was a really close game all throughout until finally we kind of broke it open in the 8th inning. And I think after that win, that definitely gave us a huge boost of confidence and led us to really believing in ourselves.
And then you end up with a couple of games against Victoria. Walk us through the last game, though. From an outsider's perspective anyways, it sure looked like you had plenty of emotional swings through that one. What was it like being in the dugout?
Yeah, I think we did a great job this weekend of staying up and staying positive throughout the whole tournament. And that kind of helped us deal with the roller coaster that can happen in these games. Obviously, we took a 7-1 lead early, and I think the good thing is that none of us really got complacent with that. They did make a great push at coming back, and finally we wrapped it up 8-7. But all throughout that push that they had, we kind of just kept our heads level and kept working hard.
How tough is it when you get out to a lead like that to not necessarily take the brakes off, but start thinking ahead a little bit, to start thinking, okay, we're going to be popping some bubbly here in the not too distant future? How do you stay focused in on that goal?
Yeah, it's really hard. I think definitely everybody starts to have some thoughts throughout the game, especially when you go out to a lead like that. But I think the thing that helped us was we just kept talking to each other and talking about the next play or the next pitch or what we were seeing at the plate, that kind of stuff, and not really talking anything past the next pitch or the next out.
What was it like watching Alex Lanigan do what he does, especially during those last 2 innings?
Oh, man, he was incredible all weekend for us. He was definitely our MVP of the tournament this weekend. In the 3 last games, the 2 against Victoria and the 1 against PBA, he threw multiple innings out of the bullpen for us, and he did a great job. We wouldn't be in this spot without him.
Take us back to the final out. What is going through your minds, especially on the field and in the dugout, and then when that final out happens? Walk us through what goes through your mind and what you're seeing.
So being out, I was out at second base there, and they had runners on first and second with 2 outs there. So it was definitely, we were just all in constant communication, like trying to position ourselves properly. But I think we all could feel it coming with the last strike there. And finally, when that last strike was called, I was just on cloud 9. That was the most relief I've ever felt and the happiest I've ever felt at once.
Looking back on it, especially, I've seen you share a couple of videos on social. What's it like watching it from the outside, knowing that you were on the inside? Is it a little bit surreal still?
Yeah, it still doesn't feel like that really just happened, but it's super cool seeing the videos, and that's definitely something that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. I'll always remember how I felt at that time.
On a personal note, from your standpoint, when we last talked, you were it wasn't that you were happy with your performance or sad with your performance, but you were kind of wishy-washy about it. You really contributed on this one. Every time I looked, you were on the bases in some way, shape, or form. Walk us through your mindset personally, getting that chance to go for a title.
I think for me, it was just kind of keeping the same approach that we did a great job of having all throughout our lineup, and just trying to not do too much and just trying to get on for the next person. I know that we have a lot of talented hitters in our lineup, and especially this weekend when we were clicking so well offensively, I think that just trying to do a job and find a way on base, that for me was just all I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm. What was different about this team than maybe some of the past teams that you've been on with the Dinos?
I think for us, the biggest thing this tournament, and compared to past tournaments or past seasons, was everybody kept a positive energy throughout all the games in the tournament. In the past, maybe if you struck out with a runner on third, less than 2 outs, you would kind of get down, and that would kind of bring the team down a bit. But in this one, we all had trust in each other, and we all knew that the next guy was going to pick us up.
How crazy has your phone been lately?
It's been pretty crazy. There's been a lot of texts coming in, and Yeah, I'm super happy about it. It's just a great way to go out and end my college baseball career.
Absolutely. So what's next for you?
So for me, I'll just be mainly coaching with the Wildcats 15U AAA team. So that will really be getting going with our league games next weekend. So I'll be back on the field there, just coaching.
Very cool. Final question for you, and you alluded to it just a couple of seconds ago. What does it mean to you when you get to think about the chance and the opportunity to end your college career on top?
It means a lot. It means so much for all the work that we put in the last 5 years to just finally have it kind of justified. Like in my freshman year, we won 8 games that year, and I never really thought that 5 years from then we'd be CCBC champions. And so it's just a surreal feeling, and it feels great.
Well, fantastic job, Marcus. Congratulations on the championship. Job well done. Thanks for sharing your story again, and thanks for joining us here on the podcast.
Thank you so much again for having me.
And last but not least, Cale Uzdebski factored in with 3 walks and 2 runs scored in the championship finale. He led the Dinos with a .429 batting average over the 4 games, picking up 2 doubles and 4 RBI. Cale, thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Cale Uzdebski, 2023 CCBC champion. How does that sound?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I can't believe it. It honestly really hasn't set in yet. I don't know. It's just surreal. Like, we did it. It feels good.
One of the things, one of the common feelings around the room has been you had a bit of an up and down regular season, and it's not that you were trying to mute expectations at all, but there was certainly that feeling of like, let's just see what happens come playoff time. When did it turn for you? When did you feel like, hey, maybe there's something more to this? Like, hey, we got a shot at this.
Well, especially coming off of last year when we were 2 games and we were done the first day that we got there. That was a tough one. So honestly, my mindset was kind of going in, let's just get the first game. Against, we played TRU the first game, let's just get 1. And then once we came off that one, everyone was feeling good. And then we had PBA coming up next, and we had some success and some tough games against them in the regular season. And after that game, it really felt like we really might have a shot here.
What was different about the mindset in the dugout during the course of this tournament that might have been a little bit different than the regular season, or was there a difference that you noticed?
Well, there was definitely that sustained energy and excitement in the dugout. We were loud. Our bullpen was loud. Everyone having fun. Everyone's like locked in every pitch of the game. And we really bought into the team brand of baseball that we needed to play to have success. Everyone picking guys up, good at bats, willing to move guys over, sacrifice bunt. Like, really playing a team brand of baseball, I really thought was a difference.
One of the things that I noticed as you go through the score sheets and you look at whether it was you guys or any other game, is it seemed like there was a lot of peaks and valleys, we'll call it that. There were a lot of 5 spots, 6 spots, put up 4 spots. It really changed the dynamic of an inning, and then the next inning it was a completely different thing. How did you as a team manage to keep an even keel through all of those rivers and mountains that seemed to be going at you at a record pace?
Yeah, that for sure was a common theme in the playoffs. You kind of just gotta treat every inning as its own thing. You got to go pitch by pitch. You can't look at the whole. If you just look back at the whole game, it's too overwhelming. Mm-hmm. And then you get caught up in, oh my God, we gave up 3 runs last inning or whatever, or we're down 2 now. We were just up. You just kind of got to stay level, got to stay even keeled, and just go pitch by pitch and let it play out how it does. And that worked out for us.
Was it tough to stay even keel in that last game? You're at the bottom of the 4th. You're up 7-1. Like, how are you not looking up at the scoreboard, kind of counting down, going, just get us through to the 9th, please?
Yeah, it's tough. And you want to get complacent and think, well, we got a 6-run lead. This should be enough. But you never can get in that mindset, because then maybe we even did a little bit, right? Because we slipped up a little bit, but then we just had to regroup, and I think we tacked on that extra run in the 8th, and then that ended up being the winning run. I think that was Zach that hit that triple there, so that ended up being massive for us.
Is it one of those unspoken things that happens as the innings go on? You've got the lead, almost like a no-hitter to a certain extent in the dugout, or are you guys all talking it up like, let's get this, let's go for it, we've got this? And talk us through what's being said in the dugout as those innings are going on.
As I always like to say, that job's not done. Like there's nothing to be happy about yet. We still got lots of time to go. We still got pitches to play. We got plays to make on defense at bats. Like, we just got to stay locked in, treat every inning like it's a 0-0 ball game, try to win every inning. Mm-hmm. And if we can sustain that kind of mindset, then no one's really looking at the end until we get there. Mm-hmm. So I felt that really helped us.
What's it like going out onto the field in the top of the 8th and seeing Alex Lanigan come out of the bullpen?
It's a good feeling, I'll tell you that. Especially this tournament, it was a good feeling seeing him come in the game. He was an absolute stud for us this weekend, and I don't think we would have got it done if it wasn't for him.
So he kind of had that last inning a couple of opportunities to put him away, and they kept clawing at you. And you almost had the couple of false starts almost. Walk us through when you finally got that moment, that last strike, the game finally over. What goes through your mind?
It was just absolute relief. Like, all the stress, all the work we put in, everything, like, it just all was paid off right there. It was just a surreal feeling, honestly. Just absolute relief, though, is what it really was.
And it's been such an interesting one for this team. And I talked to both Marcus and Zach, who are fifth-year guys. You're a fourth-year guy. This team has gone through a ringer. And I mean, even Coach Williams was a player when they were struggling to get 8 wins. And talk about being able to help be a part of turning this program around and turn it into potentially a powerhouse here, because you've got some pretty good young talent up and coming still.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a really cool thing to be a part of, and I'm glad I got one more year to keep seeing what we can do with this program. It really changed when Cam took over. He really changed the mindset. He improved the recruiting, and it all kind of built from there. And we had some young guys and we had some older guys that have seen the two different sides of the program, I guess. And they're all just we're all just pumped to see this new brand of Dinos baseball and different competitive spirit and just different level of competition, honestly.
Mm-hmm. A couple more for you. When it comes to the last 24 hours or so, what's your cell phone been like?
Oh, it's actually been blowing up. I haven't had that really, honestly. I got family reaching out, friends reaching out, other guys I played against reaching out. It's been really cool. A lot of support from everyone. It feels like everyone was happy to see us get it done.
On a related note, what's it like watching the dog pile after and the celebration after the fact? Because it's one thing to be a part of it in the moment and almost, I'll call it that blackout moment, but it's got to be another to watch it back in replays and go, holy crap, that actually happened.
I know it doesn't even seem real watching it back. I still get chills every time I watch it back and see that last pitch. It's a pretty amazing feeling.
So what's next for you?
Well, just, I guess, headed out to Weyburn on Wednesday, so focused on summer ball, focused on helping Weyburn win some ball games and improving and lifting, getting stronger over the summer and get ready to go for next fall.
Fantastic stuff. Final question for you here, Cale. What does it mean to you when you think about the fact that you're a Dino and you got to bring home a CCBC championship?
It just feels amazing to be part of that first Dinos championship. It just still doesn't seem real, but it's a great feeling, and I'm glad we got it done for the Dinos.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, Cale, on a job well done. Congratulations on the championship. Thanks so much for joining us here on the podcast.
Yeah, I really appreciate you having me.
Thanks to all of our guests for joining us this week, and congratulations again to the University of Calgary Dinos on capturing their first ever CCBC championship. Thanks to all of you for downloading and listening, and a tip of the cap to our Platinum supporters for all they do for us and for baseball in Alberta. The Okotoks Dogs and AHP Academy have been stupendous in helping us tell the stories of baseball in our province. For more information on our teammates and to get involved with your organization, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.